Take it away, Dr. Addie.
Tonight's question comes to us from Jared the TIE Pilot. If you have questions of your own, you should become a patron on Patreon, and you can post them in our Blathering Discord Science Club channel. Tonight, Jared the TIE Pilot asked me, could Godzilla exist? And the short answer is no. But for the much longer explanation, we need to talk about physics. So in physics, there is something called the square cube law, which says that as an object grows in size, its volume, and therefore its mass or weight, increases by the cube of its linear dimension, while its surface area only increases by the square of that dimension. So basically, you have a lot more mass than your bones can support. The larger your mass multiplies by itself 3 times whatever your length is. So you get a lot of meat on your bones, and your bones reach a critical point where they can't hold you up anymore. Also, we have this thing called gravity constantly pushing down on us that doesn't help with the mass and the bones holding you up.
By the way, you tell me when you're ready with the graphic.
Go ahead, Ken.
Here we go. Here's the graphic.
Okay. So this is some example creatures. Not pictured on this graphic because it would be exactly 1 pixel high is the average North American man who weighs 180 pounds. The first thing that you can see labeled number 1, that's an African bush elephant. An African bush elephant weighs approximately 13,000 pounds. A T-Rex, number 2 on this graphic, weighs approximately 15,000 pounds. The largest known land mammal is an extinct relative of a rhinoceros called a Paraceratherium, which is number 3. That weighed 40,000 pounds. And the largest known creature to have ever existed on land is the Argentinosaurus, number 5, the giant dinosaur on this graphic, who weighed an estimated 200,000 pounds.
Wait a minute. Time out. You saying number 5 was real?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Continue.
So I did some research. According to the internet, the original 1930s King Kong, not pictured on this graphic, would have weighed about 60,000 pounds. The 2005 King Kong from the Peter Jackson movie is number 4 pictured here for scale at about 120,000 pounds. Now, the Argentinosaurus, the 200,000 pounds, that's usually considered the cutoff for what a land animal could weigh before it collapsed under its own weight due to gravity and the square cube law. So that dinosaur is as big as you can get. Blue whales are bigger, and that's because being underwater and the buoyancy that you get from water helps things grow bigger underwater than they can on land. Now, you'll notice that Godzilla is missing from this graphic because Adobe Illustrator would not let me make Godzilla big enough to go on this graphic.
God damn Adobe. So it is number 6. Godzilla would obviously next to King Kong. I get the comparison. Would dwarf everything here. Okay.
Yes, I couldn't I couldn't even get Godzilla's eyeball on the graphic. It would have been too big. The Showa Godzilla, which is the era of the first 15 Godzilla films produced by Toho between 1954 and 1975, that Godzilla weighed about 40 million pounds. It would have been almost 200 times larger than the Argentinosaurus pictured on this graphic. The MonsterVerse Godzilla of the Godzilla versus Kong film that came out a few years ago, in both of those creatures, Godzilla and Kong in that movie, both weighed approximately 180 million pounds and would have been 989 times as large as the dinosaur on your screen right now. So unfortunately, Jared, Godzilla in any iteration could not exist. But Peter Jackson's King Kong could.
Okay, so there's hope. What you're saying is there's hope. Now, is the the 50-foot woman in King Kong's hands?
Admittedly, Ken, graphics not to scale.
Okay.
Dr. Addie wanting to keep the blathering copyright whatever neutral, only used images that were in the public domain.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. It makes sense to me. It's amazing. All right, so this is heartbreaking news for Godzilla fans, unless there is a Godzilla in the ocean waiting to emerge, but also pretty fascinating.
Can't emerge though, Ken.
Because it's too big. It can't exist.
If he emerges, he will collapse under his own weight and die. So even if there is a Godzilla-like creature waiting in the oceans for us, he will have to wait there indefinitely or he will be dead.
Okay. All right. So
Counterpoint
from Steve. Yes, Steve.
His atomic breath allows him to have some kind of, it's like a helium balloon, right? Like he can, maybe that helps him, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, you notice how Godzilla fights in the middle of the ocean as if he's standing upright, even though he's in thousands of feet of water. How the hell does he do that?
He's big.
But he's not that tall. He's not 4 miles high.
Times that.
Right. But like, so how is he, you know what I mean? Like, how does he fight in the middle of the ocean as if he's standing upright? Because his atomic breath makes him buoyant. That's my theory. Science,
hold on. This is two drunk guys at a bar cornering a professor. Are you suggesting that his atomic breath releases some sort of pressure on his bones? Where are you going with this?
No, I'm just saying his atomic breath makes him lighter. It's lighter than the air, so it allows him to counter what Addie is saying, and that his giant size would crush him under the weight of gravity. In the same way that helium lifts a balloon and fights the gravity.
Okay.
Godzilla's massive lungs full of atomic breath, and the fact that he's also a fictional lizard we're talking about allows him to do this.
True.
Really, it just comes from, I don't understand the fight in the Kong movie where they're fighting at the aircraft carrier and Godzilla's like standing straight up and they're in the middle of the friggin' water. I don't get it.
He's on heels. Yes.
Of the cube square law, Steve, your mass cubes your length. So you get much fatter the taller you are.
Is that how those little blue pills work? Never mind. Okay.
If you have a Godzilla for more than 4 hours, call a doctor. But Addie, an actual professor versus these two drunk guys at the sports bar here. Could atomic breath allow you to float?
This is why I don't go to bars.
If you don't go to bars, how are you going to meet your Travis Kelce?
I expect him to just show up at my door one day. I can.
All right. How off are we on this?
My counterpoint is going to be that the helium balloon does not weigh 180 million pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and atomic breath isn't real, so it's like the Force. It can be as strong as we want it to be, damn it all. Come on, work with me here.
The Force is real. What are you talking about?
Sorry, Ken.
No.
The question was not, does Godzilla exist in the movies? The question was, could Godzilla exist on this Earth that has to obey the laws of physics as they have been set out by whatever force you want to believe set the universe in motion?
So, fine. Yes, and you've done an excellent job answering this question here, by the way. This is great. Final thought for me, and maybe on the segment here, Addie. So, if Godzilla stood up out of the water, the bones just start cracking? Does he fall? How does this play out?
Almost immediate pile of goo.
Goo?
Blobfish.
Godzilla
turns into a blobfish.
Goo in a skin sack. You remember in the now problematic second Harry Potter movie when they remove all of the bones from his arm and it's just jello?
I'm just going to say yes.
Fat in a skin sack.
Fat in a skin sack, which I think is also a great prog rock album from '77. All right, there you go, Steve. We've answered the question. Can Godzilla really exist? Not at that size.
That's it exactly. Thank you, Steve.
Oh, that's disturbing. What are you showing me?
It's the blobfish. That's what they look like because they exist in the deep, deep, deep water where there's like incredible pressure. When they get to the top of the surface, they look like that because they're not used to our level of atmosphere up here.
Just stay out of the oceans. All of us, stay out of the oceans.
Away games.
Away games. Dr. Addie, thank you. Beautiful segment. So to be clear, for those we now have in the Discord, OG access through my Patreon page at patreon.com/KenNapsuck. We now have the Blathering Science Club and the Blathering Health Club, and it's been great. We've been posting accountability stuff in there, but also now in the science, you can come here and ask a question like this, and Addie, you're going to endeavor to answer it.
Yes, please bring the questions. This one, like, not the sort of question I envisioned answering, but I had so much fun researching this one, Ken. So please ask the questions that, like, you've always been afraid to ask. You think you know the answer, but you're not sure. I always tell my students there are no stupid questions. The stupid questions are the ones that you don't ask, because then you never find out the answer.
Absolutely. Well said. Great work, Addie. I'm glad you had fun doing this. It was fun to go through.
See you next week, guys.